Alright. What is up, everybody? It is BooyahMan85. I don't have a script, so we're just going to do it. Alright, I just wanted to go through my base real quick. So, here's the idea. I need a Subnautica base with everything and anything that you're going to need for a logistical playthrough of the game with as, you know, small build that isn't stupidly ridiculous, that you can realistically get in a survival game that has all the functionality that you're ever going to need. So, this is the main base that I came up with. It's fairly modular, so you can move shit around. And it's also based on the fact that when you start the game, you don't have the multi-purpose rooms or the moon pools. So the base actually starts in the foreground right here. I will go through the build in a minute. To where you start off with the core, which is this bottom layer right here, and then this top corridor up here. And then later on, when you get the observatory and the multi-purpose rooms and the moon pools, you can add the secondary structures along the outside perimeter eventually. I also have, because I have two moon pools, one for the prawn, one for the sea moth, I also have two Cyclopses and the two Cyclops Docks. We'll go over that later too. One Cyclops is built and rigged to go along with the prawn suit, which is the blue. So blue team is the blue Cyclops, the blue prawn suit, and then the red Cyclops and the red sea moth is my second group. The blue has all of the deep dive stuff where you can go down to the inactive lava zone and the active lava zone. The A group doesn't, it's not built for depth. It's built for attack and defense and short range missions that are above 500 feet. The sea moth does have all of the depth charges, or not depth charges, all the depth upgrades, so it can go down to 900, but the Cyclops can only do 500. So we'll get into all the details later. Right now, I just want to get the majority of it out of the way. So basically, what we have here is my version of what I think a main base should look like. It's got, again, it's got two sections. So, real quick, before we go through the base. Bottom layer is your crafting and your storage. The top layer has access to living quarters, so it's got two apartments and then the master bedroom. And then it's got the kitchen and the greenhouses. Xbox, stop listening! Fuck off. Okay. This is the power tower. Nuclear reactor, bioreactor, and the crops that go to the bioreactor. Then it's got, some fancy observatories, scanning room, and then it's got the two moon pools, red team's on the right, blue team's on the left, red, Halo, red versus blue, suck it blue. And then we have 3 containment. That's a 6 stack, so it's 5 alien containments and the science lab on top. That's my primary science room. And then that's just a simple 5 stack alien containment. And that's a 4 stack alien containment. Basically, there's your food. In the way I've got this set up. That one's got all originals in it. That one's got stalkers in it. Stalkers are for the bioreactor. Reginals for everything, food and bioreactor. And this one, we'll go to it later, but there's nothing in it right now because it's supposed to be for the reefbacks. Apparently the computer guys can use the source code to spawn reefback eggs, and those are supposed to be really, really good for the bioreactor. But I don't have them, so whatever. Alright, so let's go down to the bottom, and we'll go through everything slowly. Alright, so obviously not all the plants are grown inside the base yet, so just bear with me. I'll show you where everything is supposed to be. So you got your gel sacks for your aerogel. You got your blood kelp. Obviously, they're not all grown yet. It's supposed to be 6 of them. You have your deep shrooms, and I'm not a big aesthetics interior design guy, so all of this is subject to your personal tastes. But obviously you need your deep shrooms. Then I've got some of the plants that are in that biome for the blood kelp, just for aesthetics. Obviously, you have your 6 creep vine. Some of the, you know, useless safe shallows crap. Um, brain coral, coral, and then of course your batteries. So your acid shrooms. Okay, so phase 1, you start the game, you get a bunch of titanium, you don't know what to build. So the very first base you build is going to be production and storage. That's it. You don't need to make it look aesthetically pleasing. So this is what I came up with. I wanted, because you don't have, at the beginning of the game, you don't have any of the other facilities that you see behind you and above you. So this is the core, this is the base core, right? It's a bunch of tubes that can be used for wall lockers and glass lockers on, and it's just a massive storage tunnel. That's all it is. So again, let's just go through it. So you have, obviously you have your foundations, and then you guys can pause the video if you want to see all this stuff. All right. Obviously, there's nothing in here because I've just been theory crafting. So right here, just pretend there's wall lockers and glass lockers up against all of these hallways, right? Fabricators, battery chargers. You know, early game, they're all up against these walls. That way you can keep walking down the hallway and you can sort shit. So, I'm not going to craft because it's kind of boring. Anyway, so just pretend this whole area is just wall-to-wall lockers. Just lockers, organization, OCD, go crazy. Usually, I've got the glass lockers back to back, that way, not this way, this way, and they're just boom, 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 all the way down this hallway, and then you could walk in on the left or the right, whatever, and then you can just look through each locker. So it's just a massive, you know, compressed zip folder storage compartment. Again, I'm not an interior designer. I just spent 8 hours yesterday putting this base together. So we're just showcasing it now. Again, wall-to-wall lockers, just more storage. Your fabricator, battery chargers, all up along this wall. As far as an early base setup. Now, once you get established and you got, you know, you get your multi-purpose rooms, obviously the next thing you want to go for, I've been creative, it doesn't want to open the door for some dumb reason. We'll go over why we have the doors in a little bit. That's like a final thing. So here's your water production. I have 6 of them. Because now we can actually put the middle one in. See, before it was just this one, this one, this one, and that one. So now we can, they've edited the hitbox so you can actually do all 6. You can actually do 7 and have the one entrance for each one of these. So that's really cool. Any wall that doesn't have a window is basically a reinforcement. Because there's no reason not to put the enforcements in. Unless you don't have the lithium to spare. Alright. Level 2. So, first floor, water. This is basically the kitchen tower. So you have water on the bottom. Second floor, this is one of my few moments of being aesthetically pleasing. I have a 360-degree dining room. And because we don't have multiplayer, there's not a whole lot of reason to make this room to begin with. Hey, developers, might want to work on that. Because there's no multiplayer, there's no real reason to even eat food in this room. Unless you just care about that kind of thing. I'm very minimalistic. If it doesn't have a physical function for survival, then why would I want to build it? Why would I want to waste the resources to go get stuff that isn't, you know, doesn't have a purpose? Okay. The top floor. This is the main food production facility. So here's where you have all your plants. Marlboro melons, Japanese potatoes, and then your bulba trees, right? If you want to watch YouTube video, I'm not going to explain why the plants are here. If you're playing Subnautica, you pretty much know these are the best plants in the game, so it doesn't matter. That, food storage. There's your refrigerator. Now, this is the setup I went for. 1 vending machine and 2 coffee makers. I'll tell you why. Real quick. While the coffee is being made, because you can make 2 cups of coffee instantly so I can make 4 cups of coffee. While the coffee is being made, I am looking at that. This is just one form of food production, if you don't have all the plants built yet. You queue this up, you queue this up, and while you're waiting for those two to finish, I am jamming this button. Give me potatoes, give me chips, 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 chips. So what'll happen is I'll fill out my entire inventory with chips and coffee, and when the coffee's done, switch over, make all the coffee again, queue up all the coffee, then come back here and hit all the chips. Then you eat all the chips first, then you drink all the coffee. And you can actually sit here with this setup and actually maximize your food and water. Now, is it efficient? Probably not, because it takes like 10 minutes to max out your stats. But if you don't have any plants or fish, or you don't want to waste the time to go grab the fish manually from the shallows, because if you don't have alien containment, because you're a brand new base, this is the next best option. These are super simple to find the blueprints, and yeah, it takes forever to get everything, but if you do that setup where you queue up all 4 coffees, and then you just jam the potato chips, eat all the potato, fill out your inventory, have nothing on you to begin with, eat all the chips, then drink all the coffee, you're done. Okay? That's the lazy setup, right? After you have your plants set up, you don't really need those, because it just takes forever. You can just eat a bunch of fucking watermelons. This is one of my only 3 fabricators in the base. I'll tell you why. Every room in this base has a purpose. No matter how stupid or inefficient it is, I wanted every room to have a functional purpose. So I don't have 500 fabricators spread out all over the base. I don't have 500 vending machines. I don't have 1,200 plants. Everything is in a specific room in the base, and the minimalistic view of it is I only need things in specific areas at certain times. I don't need my entire base filled with everything in every room, because it's stupid, because you'll never visit the other rooms of the base if everything you need is in one room. Which theoretically, if you've seen the Moonpool scanner room base, I think it was, I saw it yesterday on the wiki, on Reddit or somewhere, where this guy has a Moonpool and a scanning room, and he's shoved every box, every plant, and everything in the game in the scanning room and the Moonpool. He doesn't need another base. You don't need other rooms. You can do that, or you can have something that's a little more practical. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like that Moonpool base, but it's just trying to cram everything in a tiny little area. I don't know. Spread it out a little. I want some walking room, for crying out loud. Anyways, I don't want this video to take freaking forever, so let's just do this. Okay. So, I've got bulkheads. We'll go through the flooding system later. I've got the bulkheads in strategic areas so I can minimize flooding in certain areas. Okay. So, you may have noticed that the ground floor, the crafting system, we'll go over the bulkheads later. I'll do the bulkheads last because reasons. All right. So, this is one of the 2 apartments in here. This is something I came up with for a living quarters before I had the multi-purpose rooms. So, again, this is still part of that early game base. If you don't have... What I used to do before you get the triple stack is that ladder over there was right here. And it just went down to the floor below it. So you can use that as your elevator ladder system until you get that corridor where you can put the ladders right here. By the way, I never thought you could actually do this. Ladders right next to doors and hatches. It's really cool because you don't actually fall down the hole. So I can stand right here and not fall down. You have to physically click the ladder to go down. So that's really cool. In reality, you'd fall in the hole and you'd bust your face and break your legs. But, you know, whatever. So before... Like, still, even before you have that triple stack, all of your food, all of your storage, just put the ladder here, and then you can come up to this other core section. Again, the triple stack comes after you've been to the floating island. Spoiler alert. So up here is all the living quarters. So before you have the multi-purpose rooms, you need a place to store, you know, personal stuff. If you want to role play, fine. Here's your bedroom, one of the 2 other bedrooms. Right now it's an apartment because I have the double stack over there. So if you've seen my inspiration for this little apartment complex, which basically is a T-junction and then glass curve and then an X section. So my inspiration for this particular setup comes from the Fifth Element. Corbin Dallas's apartment. Of course, it's a lot smaller than this, and it's a single shot. But that's kind of what we're going for. Walk in here. Here's your mud room where you can put a couple of boxes, maybe a fabricator or whatever. Then out here is like your living room / bedroom. You know, you can put you can't put a bed in here, but you can put like a chair and a dining room table and aesthetically enjoy your surroundings. And then over here is your kitchen / bedroom ish thing, whatever. So in here would go the coffee maker and massive storage and maybe a chair and just, you know, go nuts, whatever. But because it's a small room and you don't have your multi-purpose yet, you know, it's okay for, you know, what you're trying to accomplish. And if you want to put the wall here to make you go all the way around, you just go nuts, whatever. So there's one over here, and then there's a one over here, and it's flipped, obviously, so it would rotate the other way. Again, go nuts. Now, because I have the multi-purpose room, I've made my own special corridor out here. So there's my bedroom. So it's a double stack. Secondary entrance to the base. Reinforcements everywhere that there's not a window is reinforcements, or at least there's supposed to be, because there's a lot of glass in this base, and the reinforcements are there to kind of give you an idea of how deep this thing can go. All right. Again, I'm not really built for aesthetics, so I only have like minimalistic shit in here. So, you know, television, countertop, desk, whatever, plants, Reginald's or whatever you want to put in the tank, storage, it's your dresser, you know, whatever. Go nuts. Don't care. All right. Bed, plants. So, what purpose does this room have? So the apartments are just kind of for role play. If you wanted to have multiple people, you know, playing your game with you, developers, work on that shit. They would need their own bedroom, right? So from up here, we can see basically the whole base, and we'll go over the other parts. So you see the layout's kind of similar. So, because I sleep up here, theoretically, theory crafting, so this is the command chair. You can command from your bedroom, whatever. So, if you're sleeping up here, you don't want the plebs looking at you. So, as long as you're back behind the ladder, nobody else is generally supposed to be able to see you. That's why, you know, you can't really see over there. And it goes the same thing for the privacy. So, so that's that. So, this room, because each room needs to have a purpose, why would I come here for any other reason except to sleep? Well, it's because the med kits are here. You know, just kind of that idea that even though this is only my bedroom, it has a real purpose because it's got the med kits. Because the med kits are nowhere else in the base. Kind of forcing you to travel to the areas of the different areas of the base in order to accomplish certain tasks. So, that's that. Now, you're probably wondering why this is a tube and this is glass. Well, we don't want people living in the apartments. We want to give them privacy the same way we want to keep our privacy. So, you can't really see them until you're back this way, because you don't want to look into their base. The exception would be that glass window right there. But because I'm overseer, it's kind of obvious why I would have that access. Okay, so food, living quarters. We'll go through this section later because it's kind of important. All right. Again, I'll go over why the bulkheads are in specific areas in a minute when I go over why I've built it the way I did. Bioreactor, kind of important. You're going to go here more than you're going to go to the nuclear reactor. So nuclear reactor's on the bottom. And then we have plants, and then we have the bioreactor. Speckled Rattle. Mr. Spicy Gaming. MSG, dude. Thank you. You made my life a lot easier. So, out of all of the growable plants in the game, the best bang for your buck as far as power per inventory slot in the bioreactor for as long as it can run is the Speckled Rattler. The other option would be the lantern tree fruit, which I actually have growing down here. We have lantern trees. We have 4 of them. Food / bioproduction. It's if you wanted something quick to just throw in there just for a few minutes. I think I don't have the I don't have the spreadsheet up yet. Whatever, we'll come back to it. Speckled Rattler is the dry plant that is preferred to grow for the bioreactor. Second would be lantern fruit, just because of the ease of access. And it reproduces quickly. Down here, nuclear reactor, obviously. Sealed off from the crafting system. Nuclear waste. Supplies for making nuclear rods. And one of the only few fabricators. One in the kitchen, one in here, technically one out there in the ground floor from the crafting area from before, and storage. Actually, you could probably scrub that and use the one down here. But anyways, again, just basic, core stuff. So there's the front door, like before. There's all the storage. The kitchen shit's over there, and then now we're over here, and then there's the bedrooms. So now we're gonna go up. Storage for seeds. Back up your seeds in case you forget to harvest, the last bit of your supplies. You always have backup seeds. Okay, so now the center structure. In the middle, so living quarters, kitchen's over there, bioreactors, shit's over here. This is the center tower. This can go anywhere. There's the main entrance to the base, scanner room, and then I've got 3 observatories. This is your airlock system. Most of this is inspired by 2 movies, in particular, The Abyss and Deep Blue Sea. So that's why it's kind of got that isolation feel to it. All right, this just because I need to put the observatories somewhere, and they need to be useful. So Overwatch, different base operations, whatever. All right, so this tube up the middle can go up to the highest heavens, up to surface level, whatever you want to do here. Here's the command bridge of the base, obviously. So it's your scanning room. Jellystream Caves. We're in the grassy plateau on the southwestern corner of the shallows. It's a nice open flat area. I don't have to worry too much about it. I've got 1 speed and 3 range. Gives you the best bang for your buck. You can play with the numbers if you want to, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Alright, so why the airlock system? Well, no, we'll go over the flooding later. Again, I will go over that when we get to it. Should have went around. I'm so dumb. Okay. The hatches and the I need to explain the flood system later. Alright, so at this moment, right here, is the end of the elementary base. Where, it's before you have some of this high-tech shit. Then you get your multi-purpose, then you get your moon pools. Alright, I don't like asymmetric builds. I'm a symmetry guy, because I'm ADD, I'm a little OCD and ADHD. So I need things to have a form and a pattern to them. So I didn't want to put just 1 moon pool. That, and there's also 2 vehicles that utilize the moon pool. So I was like, okay, well, we need to put them somewhere. Alright. Blue team on left, red team on right. So we have the Christmas system over there, and the blue system over there. All right, so moon pool, decorate it the way you want to. Doesn't really matter to me. Real quick, this is the best setup that I can pretty much figure out. Defense, sonar, storage module, just in case you want to carry all the different modules with you, and the Seamoth depth. Why do we have the storage? So I can carry all the other Seamoth modules. And I also have 3 other storage modules in here, because you can put all 4 modules. So if you're not going deep and you need to carry back a lot of supplies back to your base, like a lot of seeds from the floating island, for instance, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You can take off all the other upgrades and put all 4 storage units on. You always got 1 stock, or I've got one already in. Then I put all the other shit in here. If you have all four, there's like one here, one over there, and then two on top of the roof. You can carry. It's 9. Wait, how much is this? 8 times 8 is 16. 4 times 4 is 16. So you have 16 times 4, which is, do the math. It's like 80 cargo. Not really. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 64 storage. So that's a lot of space, right? And you're only carrying an additional 4 upgrade slots. So you're looking at a lot of storage capacity. So carry the extra cargo, put all the extra modules that you're going to need eventually in there, and then swap them all out for all storage whenever you need to store shit. Anyway, moving on. We'll go over this over here. All right. So there's the kitchen, the observatory, right side moon pool, stalkers. This base has a purpose. It's, researching biofuel, and one of the other good ways to do biofuel is apparently stalkers, which it's not super efficient because the Reginals are way better. They're like the best besides Oculus, and Oculus takes forever to respawn. So, that and, I don't know, a tube full of sharks, deep blue sea, go nuts, whatever. The ladder system I will go over when we go over the flooding and the bulkheads, because it kind of ties in with the same theme. But again, it's alternating. So, I don't like ladders that go straight down with like multiple stacks, because you can't freaking tell if you're going to go up the ladder or down the ladder, because the hitboxes are freaking fidgety as fuck. So I've got an alternating system, so I'll deal with it. Before we go into the Cyclops docks, because they're basically identical, the last and certainly not least nuclear containment, or sorry, alien containment, is all the Reginals. So we have a 5-stack, and then we have a 5-stack here of all Reginals. So you're looking at about 50. I think they're fully developed right now. You're looking at like 50 Reginals. You only need 9 for the bioreactor, and that bioreactor with 9 Reginals lasts 156 minutes in-game, actual minutes. You know how long that is? It's ridiculous. So anyway, Reginals, excellent food source, best in the game, and best efficient biofuel, minus Oculus. The Reginal is $4.90 each, and it takes up 1 slot. Oculus is $6.30. So it's slightly less efficient than the Oculus. A full Oculus 9 is 204 minutes. And these are 156. So, I mean, you take a power loss, but it's over 2 hours of biofuel. I mean, come on. Get like 4 or 5 bioreactors and get like an 8-stack of this. Psh, power for days. Anyways, let's move on. Okay. So, here's my science lab. Again, this has a purpose. The only place in the game that has the radio. Forces you to come up here to do the radio. There's coffee here because it's a working system. It's a workstation. There's only 1 coffee, so there's kind of a need to go back to the kitchen and the lounge to actually get your full fix. But, for a quick boost, there's your coffee. And you know how scientists, they love their coffee caffeined for days. Meet the Robinsons. I got a caffeine patch. She's got like 8 of them on her arm. The only place in this base that has the modification station. Again, scientific base, there's got to be something up here worthwhile. And because I had the medical packs up here, but then I was like, why am I going to go to the bedroom? So I moved the medical packs, modification station and radio only up here. And then, of course, the desk for your lab equipment. Another similar locker setup because I'm horrible at interior design. And then you can grow plants, whatever. Oh, real quick, while we're here, developers, come look at this bug with me. Okay, so brain coral. Did you see that? All the other brain corals, because I have one brain coral and one creeper vine in all 3 alien containment towers. This one in particular, the bubbles don't come up all the way to the top. All the other ones do, even with the one with the stalkers in it. The air bubbles come all the way to the roof, right? And this is a 5 stack. For some reason, the bubbles do not pass on this particular one past that this first ceiling level. So I have to come down here to get oxygen. Above this line, they don't come up here. They either glitch out or what, but you know, you guys can figure that one out for yourself. Again, I don't want people knowing about, let's see, hang on. I need to go to an actual floor. Alright. And because this was my top secret alien containment, I didn't want anybody from the other side of the base being able to look and see what's in here. Except the science lab, obviously. So everything facing backward toward the other parts of the base is all blocked off. You're not supposed to see what's back here. It's also why this thing has a special door on it. Again, flooding will be in a minute. Prawn suit, obviously. Alright, this is the setup I went for. This is the one that's going to go down to lava zone, so it needs all the stuff, right? Engine efficiency, because there was nothing else better to put in here, and stretching your batteries as long as they, or your power cells as long as they can go, whatever, it's doable. Jump jets, obviously. The minute I realized, I'd never used the prawn suit before, so the minute I realized you needed more jumps, I needed it. Thermal reactor, you're going to the lava zone, you're gonna want to put this on, just because. Depth, so you can get down there, kind of a big deal. You don't want to get down there and then realize, oh, I can't deploy because we're below crush depth. Drill arm, because why the heck not? Propulsion cannon, you could put the torpedo in here, but then you have to harvest for magicite, which is kind of stupid, when you can just freaking Half-Life 2 grapple and throw everything out of your way. There you go. You would use torpedoes for all the big shits. So that's that. It's specifically designed for lava zone because that's the only reason you're going to use it. Alright. David, orientation. Okay, here we go. Alright. Window here so you can see the impressive Cyclops Dock. Every Cyclops Dock is identical, so there's 2 of them. So we have door that isolates the dock from the other side of the base. Then we have our air traffic controller, our docking officer. You can guide the Cyclops in without breaking everything. Reinforcements all over the place because this thing's going to break all the glass like instantly if you're going a little too fast. Anyway, I'll come up with the. We'll get around to why I have all the doors and the ladders in certain positions. Now, I've got the docking collar right next to the door because I don't want to freaking... If you're out in a hostile biome and the minute you leave your base, something's trying to kill you, like Ghost Reaper Leviathans, you want super fast access between ocean and safety. So we come down here. And we go into the thing. Look up. Boom. Instantly in the Cyclops. It doesn't take forever. I don't have to fly 500 meters to get to my Cyclops. Instant transition. Okay. Everybody knows the Cyclops. I'm not going to talk about it. Ooh, spoiler alert. I have the fire suppression. Okay. Is this the... Okay. So this is the... Alright, this is the blue Cyclops. So blue Cyclops needs depth, and thermal reactor. All 4 of these are all standard on both Cyclopses. Fire suppression system to put out fires and prevent flooding because it shuts all the airtight doors immediately. Shield generator because I hate getting blown up in this thing. Sonar because you're going places and it's scary. I hate the creep of the monsters in this game. And Cyclops repair so you can repair either the sea moth or the prawn when and wherever. And because you're going deep. These are the only 2 modules that I ever swap out. We're not going to talk about anything else because it's not decorated or equipped for deep sea. Obviously, go nuts with your interior design. Down, boom, into the base. That's exactly why I've got all the ladders where they are, because I want quick access that doesn't have a lot of problems. David, why do you have all these long hallways? You could just make this more efficient. I will go over that when we go over flooding. Flooding the base is going to be fun. Because there's a reason why I've got all these compartments. Because again, deep blue sea and abyss, there's a lot of flooding going on. Okay. Flooding. That's basically it. That's the base. We're going to go over all the little nuts and bolts now. Okay. Use this door because it'll be easier. Okay. Now, that's the base. If you're going to keep watching, we're going to go over the flooding and why we have the bulkheads and the hatches in certain locations. Otherwise, it's been fun. I don't really do this that often, but thank you for watching. Alright, so flooding. Why do we have bulkheads in certain locations, David? I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. I want to create watertight compartments in the base that if everything else goes to shit, the whole base floods, there will be some airtight compartments. Remember the Titanic? I want watertight compartments so that not the entire the entire base floods. That's stupid. Every watertight compartment needs outdoor access, inside base access, and it needs the bulkheads to seal off the area. So what I opted to do is strategically, I did this in a strategic manner. The kitchen tower and the crafting area is all one airlock compartment. So everything down here and that triple stack for the kitchen is one airlock compartment. Oh, I forgot. And the living quarters. Minus the actual insides, because there's a door there, there, and there. So basically, this hallway and that kitchen 3-stack and all the crafting hallways is one airlock compartment. There's the one exterior hatch for that watertight compartment. And then you've got a door right there preventing access to the reactor. And then, so that's all open. That tower is open. And the bulkhead door is there, there, and there. So basically the bottom floor and then that entire hallway and that triple stack is all one compartment. And then that's a bedroom. It's its own watertight compartment. There's just no hatch. You can put a hatch, top or bottom, your call. But it's a living quarters. It's not built to be self-sustaining in a flood situation. Same thing for this room. It's just one airlock door. No exterior hatch. Okay. That one's there just because. That hatch doesn't have to be there. But that door protects my house from being flooded. Honestly, what I actually could do is rotate the bulkhead from there to there so I can have my own personal exterior hatch to my room. I'll fix it later. That's just something to think about. Anyway, so basically, this is airtight if the bottom floods. That's airtight, and that's airtight if this whole place floods. So that's the first thing. Here's the massive airlock. There's a bulkhead there and here. There's a window on this side and a hatch on this side, and it alternates so that you can get to both halves of the base, and you can go up or down, or you can go up. You can't go down. That's just there for support. Window, because it looks pretty and allows me to isolate this top section from the forward section from the aft section. Okay. Continuing. So that's the first section. The second section is the power tunnel, or the power stack, this back hallway, and access to both moon pools. So both moon pools, that hallway, this hallway, and the triple stack power is all one airlock compartment. So there's a bulkhead there to prevent this from flooding. There's a bulkhead there to prevent the leak from the living quarters, and there from the kitchen. And then it's a clear air tube all the way to there, and then that door and that door. So these are isolated sections. I believe both left and right aquatics are not bulkhead. Real quick. Yeah. So basically both access to both of those towers, both moon pools and power is all one airlock. There's not a hatch because the moon pools are the hatches. You can get in and out through both moon pools. Oh, there's a hatch there. I'm stupid. That hatch is for this compartment as well. The two hatches here and the vertical stack prevents water from the bottom of the base to leak into the surface, or to whatever you want to build up here. It's its own airlock compartment. So again, if the base floods, there's at least one or two places you can go that have oxygen. That, you know, it's not over. You know, your base isn't completely ruined. Okay. Obviously, this alien containment, the Reginald Tower, is separate from the main base. One, because it's supposed to be top secret research. Second, I don't want my Reginalds flooded. Sorry. Okay. Now, David, why do you have 3 hatches? Okay. Here's a news flash. This is a 6-stack with a 5-stack alien containment. I want there to be a reason to utilize fast transportation. That, and I want them to be self-containing air pockets. I want multiple air pockets in the base because I'm OCD and I want things to be uniformed. So the top 2, the middle 2, and the bottom 2 are individually 3 groups of airtight compartments. There's one hatch for the exterior. There's one hatch to the inside alien containment elevator, and there's one ladder for every group. So every group has an interior hatch, exterior hatch, and a ladder to go between the two. Now we're going to go through it here. This system is duplicated on the other 2 towers, which is why I wanted to go through it here. Okay, we're going to go in right here because I want you to see this process in action. Okay, this floor and the floor below it, note by the ladder position, are one airlock compartment. Okay, so you come in here, you need oxygen, you come in here, this is airtight. There's no leak in this floor because it's surrounded, basically, by reinforcements. So this is less likely to be attacked by water problems. You come in here, you're like, oxygen, right? But there's no way to go up. The ladder only goes down. The trick is, it goes down to this compartment. To go up, you come in, you go down one, into the hatch, and then from the hatch, from alien containment, you can go to the bottom floor, or you can go to the top floor. So, I come in here, I need oxygen. Oh, thank goodness. Now to go up, I have to go down, and go in here. So, that system is repeated here. So, hatch, come in, go down the floor, go through the hatch, and then you're free to come up. David, that's a lot of walking, because we're lazy people. I wanted every room in the base to be used at least in certain situations. To force you to actually travel up and down this structure in any way that might seem useful at some point in time, I had to design it to where at some point you would travel through all 6 compartments. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's there. So, bottom floor, access to here, ladder going up 1, out to the hatch. and that system is repeated here. The only trick is it's not exactly repeated here, because there's the ladder going up, because there's a science lab up here that's not an actual compartment. So this is all one floor too. The hatch is up there, ladder going down, ladder going to the rest of the base, hatch to alien containment. This is lazy because I wanted to be able to go from the hatch to inside alien containment relatively quickly. So this is the only one that's not, you have to walk around. So, anyways, so that's just a theory. So again, 3 airlock compartments. That design is repeated 2 more times on the exteriors. So there you go. Now, Cyclops. Anybody who knows anything about docking a Cyclops to these glass compartments knows that you're going to be banging around trying to get this thing docked. By banging it into other metal and glass structures will cause a lot of leaks in your glass tubes. So, in order to prevent that from flooding the entire base, I obviously have a door here. That door is always closed. Always. Now, why the heck are you there? You're not supposed to be there. So, I actually need a way out of here real quick, because I need to explain this from the outside perspective. Okay. Come on. Because it's a lot easier to replicate or to visualize what's going on here. Alright. So we have dock officer for the red tower, the blue tower. Then you have your dock. Now, I don't know if everybody knows about this dock, but it's the best way we can do it without developers actually doing some actual work. Again, reinforcements to prevent a lot of bullshit. So, normally, when you're docking this thing, the one section you're going to be breaking a lot are these 2 top glass tubes. Because these are going to take a lot of damage, because when you try to drop the Cyclops down, it's going to break these glass tubes. Not necessarily the bottom ones, but we'll go over that in a minute. So, top section floods. Again, I need access to the inside of the base, the outside water, and I need to create a hatch that incorporates the ability to go in and out of these sections. So, there is a door there. So if these glass tubes floods, no water goes down. That's the first thing. Secondly, nothing floods the moon pool. Door there. Okay? Come over here. There is a door down there. So this room's going to flood. But that's fine, because that's a watertight door. Then you have your ladder and the hatch to the outside. So, on the flip side, let's see if I can come over here. So, we have... There we go. We have watertight door that prevents the bottom from being flooded. Then you have your flooded hatch exit of the watertight section without flooding the moon pool. There's your water access to the outside, and watertight door to prevent the bottom from being flooded. I did a flip-flop, so those 2 are aligned, and then you flip it on the bottom, because I wanted, some uniqueness to how this is built. And then, of course, everything's duped to the other side. So the top floods, the bottom is air dry. That's the ultimate goal. If the top floods, the observatory floods as well, or the docking officer gets flooded too. But they have hatches. Again, flooded access to open water. Now, let's say the bottom floods. Same process, except the hatches on the bottoms are flipped. So instead of the hatch being up here, the hatch is actually over there, because I've alternated the sides. So the bottom floods, watertight door prevents the top from being flooded on the left. Stage left. Or stage right, whatever. So that watertight door over there prevents the top from being flooded. Come on, people! Hello? No, it's all right. I already bought the cake. What's up? Yeah, yeah. Everything told me about it. Yeah, I know. I know. I forgot. 32, I guess. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, that's fine. I love you too. Bye-bye. Oh my god, that's going to be on the YouTube video. Well, fuck me. For those of you who are concerned, December 22nd today is my birthday. I'm 32 years old. And that was Mom. I kind of had to answer it. You gotta know how moms are. It's going to be in the video. I'm sorry, YouTube. I don't really care. Whatever. So, top floods, doesn't matter. Bottom floods, doesn't matter. Why? Bottom level. Alright, so, bottom floods, top doesn't flood, obviously, because I've already explained. Door there, door there. The hatch is down here, because if this floods, you need a way outside. There's a window on the other side. So you don't want to open the bulkheads when it's flooded, because you'll flood the compartment that you're opening the door to. That's why the hatches for the outside water are there. Because what you can do, hint, hint, if you haven't figured it out, is if the bottom floods, or the top, you go to the flooded hatch. Go around here. You just swim to the other hatch. Swim to the air dry compartment. Or you can swim to all the other hatches in the base. Whatever. I wanted quick access in and out of the base, so if you're surrounded by ghost leviathans, you don't have to worry too much about it. Now, if the bottom floods, your docking arm for the Cyclops will also flood because there's no door. I guess I could put a door right there. And then there's a hatch going up to the Cyclops and then out to the moon pool. That's why that hatch is there, actually. It's so it minimalizes the amount of time you're in the open ocean. I wanted quick access to different areas of the base. So there's a hatch down here for the stalker, the bottom of the stalker base, or thing. There's one over there, there's one over there, there's one up there. Doesn't matter. I wanted quick access. So, bottom floods, well, this whole thing's going to flood unless I put a door right there. Because then you can get into there, which is airtight, and at least jump into the Cyclops. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Anyways, so that's how that works. I wish I was recording this the entire time I was building the base, because I did a lot better of explaining why the system works the way it does. Hello? Thank you, Aunt Suzanne. Thank you. Alright, sounds good. It's alright. Have a good night. Love you. Bye. Making a YouTube video. Leave me alone, people. Trying not to be rude to my only family. Anyways. So that's basically the base. I wanted it, again, I wanted it to be functional. I wanted every room to feel important, at least in some fashion. For future reference, the battery chargers and the power cell chargers I would store in the moon pools, because you're going to want to instantly take out the batteries and swap batteries out in the moon pools. You didn't see any on the walls because I hadn't gotten that far yet. But it's a nice base. I don't have a name for it because it doesn't matter. It's a functional base. I guess I could call it Deep Core from Abyss, but I mean, whatever. We'll call it Deep Core, I guess. So we have nuclear power, we have bio, and then I've got God knows how many solar panels on top of the moon pools. Oh, Pro tip, I have 6 water filtrations. You need at least 5 solar panels per 1 water filtration system because they will constantly drain your system if they aren't full on the inventory. So I think I have the equivalent of at least 5 solar panels for each one, because that's the only thing that constantly draws power from the base is the somebody said 4 solar panels for each one. It's sketchy at 4. You're still going to drain power, and I wanted the base to be self-sufficient with all 6 running at once. So solar panels on the moon pools. Again, quick little video. Not really. It's almost an hour-long tutorial or themed video, but I just wanted to go through real quick. And there's not a whole lot of functional base builds. There's all these, the top 5 bases and efficiency base and all this other stuff. I wanted something that was functional. Every room was important, and it was capable of at least trying to be built in a single player survival experience. Obviously, if you don't have all the resources, you can take out the other 2, the 2 alien containments, one there and one there. Just take out those 2 towers. That'll save you a bunch of lithium and a bunch of freaking enameled glass. And then if you really were sketchy, drop one of the moon pools and drop one of the Cyclops docks, where you just have 1 Cyclops and 1 moon pool to eliminate that whole gambit right there. Just take out 1 whole side, so you just have the core, living, food, and power, and then you have at least 1 Cyclops dock, 1 alien containment, the scanning room, and 1 submersible bay. Again, because it's modular, you can take off and add to or change whatever, but again, 57 minutes, I think that's plenty enough time. I hope you guys enjoyed the base. Thanks. Whoop. We don't need to turn off the Xbox. I need to terminate the Twitch.